Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jeremy here at Extreme Weather Tracker, updating your tropical weather at 1:42 p.m. on June the 27th, 2011. We have an area of disturbed weather here in the southern Gulf of Mexico that we want to talk about. Also, we have a tropical wave that's located just west of the Lesser Antilles that'll have to be watched once it gets farther into the western Caribbean. The first area we want to talk about is this area of low pressure, or broad area of low pressure rather, in the southern Gulf of Mexico. Possible center of circulation somewhere over the western tip of the Yucatan. At this time, you can see it firing up convection showers, thunderstorms, and cloudiness over the southern Gulf of Mexico. And this feature is forecast to move slowly off to the west and northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The National Hurricane Center has given this 30% chance of developing at this time, and they are scheduled to fly Hurricane Hunter aircraft into it tomorrow afternoon. The Bay of Campeche, where this is located, is a little bit it's being a little bit sheared right now, but the shear is definitely forecasted to relax, and so the area will be more conducive for development over the next couple of days, as it will have a couple of days over the very warm waters of the Bay of Campeche. I want to show you the upper air pattern for the Atlantic Basin. As you can see, the area of low pressure or area of disturbed weather would be centered here. So the upper air pattern would direct this thing in a westerly or perhaps northwesterly fashion, depending on how far north it forms. If it forms north in here, we could get a landfall further north towards northern Mexico. If the center of circulation ends up forming a little bit more southerly, which is a consensus now, then perhaps a landfall around Tampico or somewhere north of there would be more appropriate. I want to show you the models. This is the GFS model. This is the 12Z run. And you can see at 48 hours we have a nice closed off low with closed isobars around it. And you can see this in the Bay of Campeche here and moving toward the central coast of Mexico. Also want to show you the next model here. This is the Canadian model, and as you can see at 48 hours it's a little faster with this system. It's showing this thing ready to make landfall here around maybe just north of Tampico, Mexico. So I definitely think interest from southern Texas down into the central coast of Mexico should definitely keep an eye on this system. The last model I want to show you, this is the European model rather. And it's a little slower with this system, and it's showing at 72 hours, still sitting out here just off of the central coast of Mexico, possibly just north of Tampico here. So South Texas could possibly get some impacts from this, from some squall lines. It's possible, but I think the main impact will be here in central Mexico with heavy rainfall and perhaps mudslides and flash flooding. So once again, we'll be keeping an eye on this system, and this tropical wave here is interacting with an upper level low that's in this area here. So at this time, development is unlikely, but as it moves on off to the west and gets into the southwestern Caribbean, we'll have to keep an eye on it, because that area, this area of the world right now is the hot spot, and the Bay of Campeche and the Gulf of Mexico. These are the favorite areas for development. We have a lot of upward motion in this area of the world right now. The Madden-Julian oscillation is definitely in place here. So we definitely want to keep an eye on it. And once again, we will definitely be updating you. We don't see any effects right now for Texas, but definitely the central Mexican coastline, probably from somewhere here north of Tampico down to the central Mexican coast, should definitely keep an eye on this system. So once again, this is Jeremy at Extreme Weather Tracker. Keep checking back. We'll see you guys again soon.